From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Gleason. Here. Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
County Council, could you give us a report on actions taken in closed session?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Couch and members of the board. This afternoon, with respect to agenda items number 36, 37, and 39, your board heard all of those matters. No reportable action was taken on any of them. With respect to agenda item number 38, this matter was heard by your board, and by a unanimous 5-0 vote, the Board of Supervisors authorized the County Council to request and file an amicus curiae brief before the California Supreme Court in the matter of City of San Buenaventura versus United Water Conservation District and Board of Directors of United Water Conservation District. It is California Supreme Court case number S226036. The amicus brief will address the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act in the context of Propositions 218 and 26. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. The next item is the the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. We can act on those all in one motion unless any member of the public or any member of the board chooses to pull any of those items for separate consideration. Consent agenda starts on page 2 of the afternoon agenda, consists of items 3 and 5. On to page 3, all the items 6 through 11. On page 4, items 12 through 15 and 17 and 18. Item 14 has been withdrawn by the department and will not be considered today. And on to page 5, items 19 through 24. Is there anyone here that would like to pull any of those items I just read off for separate consideration? Any member of the board? Just need a motion on the consent calendar, please.
Motion.
We have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved, all ayes.
Thank you. Takes us to item 1, which is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any member that is not on the agenda but is under the jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public presentation? Please come forward, state your name, and proceed.
Kern County Board of Supervisors. My name is Jennifer Sanchez. I am a CSUB graduate student and Executive Vice President of CSUB Student Government.
Good morning to the board. My name is Pedro Navarez, and I'm the Director of Legislative Affairs for CSUB Student Government.
You might remember that just over a month ago, I came before you in this very room asking for your support during our application process to the League of American Bicyclists for bicycle-friendly university status. Today, Pedro and I, along with the support of Dr. Evelyn Young-Spath, have come to happily announce to you that California State University of Bakersfield has been certified as, has been nationally recognized by the League of American Bicyclists and has been certified as a bicycle-friendly university. We now join a cutting-edge group of 127 colleges and universities in 42 states who are transforming the way that we connect our campuses to our communities. We are now one of only 2 CSUs and 6 UCs to be granted this distinguished title, and we could not have done this without your support. We thank each and every one of you. The official announcement will be made in a national and local press release on Thursday, November 5th. Thank you for all you do to support making our community bicycle friendly.
Thank you very much. Hang on one second. Supervisor Perez would like to give you a comment.
Thank you. Excellent work. It's always so nice to see young people here that are empowered with information and action, and I'm very encouraged. Some of you may recognize Pedro from my office. He is absolutely fantastic.
Thought he looked familiar.
Yeah. Right. And so excellent work. Very proud of you, and keep up the good work. So
Thank you very much. You guys take care.
Thank you. Congratulations. Any other public presentations? Seeing none. Item 2 is board member announcements and reports. I don't see any there, but I have another referral I'd like to make, and it would be to the planning department. I'm interested in a process for coming up with some design standards for commercial and industrial structures, which obviously could be different, that would be complementary to the terrain and the existing architectural themes in the mountain communities, specifically Lebec, Fraser Park, Pine Mountain Club, and the Lake of the Woods, those areas. So I don't know what the proper I don't want you to bring back an ordinance per se. I'd like you to maybe come back with just a report on what that process would look like to end up with something like that. Clear? Thank you. Do I need a motion to do that, or is that?
No, you don't need a motion to do that unless you want to make it formal.
I just wanted to make sure. I never know when we knew, when we're making a referral, and when we don't. Okay, thank you very much. That takes us to item 4, is a request for a determination of public convenience for the issuance of an off-sale beer and wine package store license located at 612 Cottonwood Avenue, Suite B in Bakersfield. Ms. Ovia, good afternoon.
Thank you, Chairman Couch, members of the board. I'm here today with Scott Denny, Division Chief for Operations. This was our continued item for Mr. Allgod. It is a Type 20 off-sale beer and wine license at the Dollar Plus Mart, located at 612 Cottonwood Avenue in Bakersfield. This would allow a package store which authorizes the sale of beer and wine for consumption off the premises where sold. Minors are allowed on the premises. As we noted previously, this is a transfer of a license from Walmart Stores, Inc., which Mr. Allgod has purchased this license to transfer from South Bakersfield area to this site. As we noted before, this is an over-concentrated census tract. The appropriate level is 8 alcohol licenses, and there are already 6 additional licenses within this tract. It's 400 feet from the school. It abuts a residential neighborhood, and we've included in our report the instances that the sheriff has indicated. We did meet with Mr. Allgood, and he does speak and understand English. However, this presentation mode before the board, he felt that he needed a representative who could perhaps speak to you. So therefore, he has brought Estela Gutierrez. We have met with Ms. Gutierrez, Mr. Allgod. We are clear that he understands the proceedings, and they would like to give testimony on their responses to staff's recommendation. As noted, it is recommended that your board deny the request by making a determination based on the above findings that there is no public convenience or necessity for the issuance of an off-sale beer and wine package store license for beer and wine sales at 612 Cottonwood Avenue, Suite B in Bakersfield, California.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to this recommendation? Now would be the time to do that. I need to ask the county council, do you need to verify with the person that's going to be speaking for him that?
If you would like me to, I'd be happy to.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Hi.
Hi,
What is your name?
Estela Gutierrez.
Ms. Gutierrez, are you going to be interpreting today?
It's not interpreting, I'm speaking for him.
Are you his representative?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and state your name for the record again, and then.
Estela Gutierrez.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. We met with her yesterday, and basically we went over what her findings were. There are 8 licenses and 6 that are overpopulated, but 3 of them
One is not active, and then 2 more of them, one store closed and the other one is being transferred. So there's only 3 that are overpopulated. Also, he feels that he's further away from the school than 2 other stores that are right across the street from 2 schools. So he doesn't understand why he would be an issue and the other stores that are already located in front of the schools are. So they're basically his concerns.
Okay, does that conclude all your comments?
That and knowing that they do have 2 security guards within the shopping center that are there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And he's also willing to hire a security guard for his own store if the license is approved. That way there's no violence or any more police that need to be involved.
Okay.
So that does conclude our presentation.
Thank you very much. Why don't you stay in the front row in case someone has questions for you?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to make any comments on this item? Okay, I'll return it to the board for questions, comments, and action. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity that we took to extend this out a week and make sure that we're really on the same page. I really enjoyed meeting Ms. Gutierrez and Mr. Algott in the office, and certainly appreciate the economic investment that you have made into this community by having a commercial operation. I've taken a very close look at this area. I've revisited the area in the last week, and it's a community that I am very intimately familiar with. One of my first jobs in high school was to work at the school there in an after-school child daycare program. It's an area that some of my family lives in, and as well, it's an area that I believe 2 years ago I devoted 100% of my CDBG money into for playground equipment for disabled children. And it's a facility that services the entire county, and I think maybe the first one that has specific playground equipment for disabled children. So it's an area that I know physically well, that I am intimately aware of, and I have visited on regular occasion and continue to do so. And so this is a tough case. We always appreciate economic activity and those that are willing to make an investment there. But I think the facts here are very compelling, as they have been consistently brought forth to this board time and time again. We've had a few recently in Supervisor Magard's district where there was an over-concentration of alcohol licenses or accessibility to alcohol. The other question, of course, becomes what is the proximity of this school, what is the proximity of this particular commercial establishment in relationship to children, in relationship to institutions that are working to improve the stability of families in the area, in the region. And so it would appear to me that without further information, without further evidence at this time, that staff's recommendation is appropriate, given the proximity already, the density, the two in between Mr. Algott's residence or commercial establishment and the school already indicates an incredible over-concentration of this particular product. And so at this time, I'm prepared to support staff's recommendation. I do apologize to the applicant for any miscommunication or confusion from Walmart in the transfer of the license. We have certainly heard those stories before. And so I hope that you're able to sell that license and recoup your investment, as I know that is significant. So I really appreciate, once again, your investment. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez, for coming in and making your case so compelling. This board, however, has been very consistent on these issues, and as tough as it is, we're very much a pro-business board, like to see economic activity. In light of the sensitivity of the children in the area and the proximity, I am prepared to support staff's recommendation and prepared to make a motion. I guess I'll make that now. I really appreciate everybody's interest and hard work. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
I'll second her motion.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. That brings us to item 16, which is a proposed memorandum of understanding with the City of Bakersfield for the transfer of property tax and sales tax revenue upon annexation for a 5-year term from November 4, 2015 through November 3, 2020, and a proposed exemption of annexation areas described in Exhibit A from the proposed MOU. Mr. Nylon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Good afternoon. As you mentioned, this is a request that your board approve the attached memorandum attached to our board letter with the City of Bakersfield for the transfer of property tax and sales tax revenue for all annexations effective November 4, 2015 and thereafter. Your board approved a settlement agreement with the City of Bakersfield on April 1, 2014 that required the county and the City of Bakersfield to develop and negotiate a new MOU for tax allocations when unincorporated territory is annexed by the city. The attached MOU is the culmination of many months of negotiations and analysis by both the city and the county. The agreement meets the requirement under LAFCO for the exchange of property taxes upon annexation to provide municipal services to newly annexed areas. In addition, the city will pay 10% of the Bradley Burns local sales tax generated within the annexed area to the county. The proposed MOU is similar to the MOU reached with the City of Shafter and approved by your board on May 19, 2015. Both county staff and city staff believe the proposed agreement is fair and equitable and will provide each jurisdiction with funding to provide basic services to new development. The proposed MOU will not apply to the future annexation that is identified in the letter as Exhibit A. The annexation identified as such is subject to prior agreement with the City of Bakersfield and the county. Before I read the recommendation, I would like to thank a few people. I know that there are representatives of the city present, and I would like to thank the city for their hard work and their diligence and working well with us to come to this, I think, equitable conclusion. So thank you. I'd also like to take a moment and thank the auditor, and specifically Janelle Austin, kind of a name that many of you may not know, but just fundamental to the calculations, and very much appreciate her and her work along the way. Also, I'd like to thank council, and specifically Jerry Bradley. She has been a superstar as well, and as you know, Nancy Lawson and of course Teresa Hitchcock have been instrumental. So a lot of hard work on a lot of fronts to get to this point, and I'm very pleased to ask for this recommendation today. Therefore, it is recommended that your board approve the proposed memorandum of understanding for the transfer of property tax and sales tax revenue upon annexation with the City of Bakersfield, exempt the future annexation area described on Exhibit A from this MOU, and authorize the chairman to sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nyland. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll return it to the board. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you very much. During your presentation, Mr. Nyland, I looked over at our chairman and said, are we really here? Is this really happening? It's amazing how your very concise presentation, which is excellent, certainly does not convey the amount of toil and bloodshed that went into resolving this issue, because they are immensely complicated issues. And there were many, many people who are not present today that had a hand in helping us resolve those issues. I see Jerry in the back of the room with a big smile. I see next to her Mr. Turnipseed, who, consistently wielding his influence in the community to make sure that we all sit down at the table and resolve these issues on behalf of the taxpayer, both at the city and the county. And so I really, really appreciate coming here today to this point. Many, many, many hours, many closed sessions, lots of negotiation with the city, and ultimately concession on both sides, and agreement that we are really ready to move forward and do what's in the best interest of our development community and the county on the whole. So really, really appreciate all of the hard work. These few minutes of presentation certainly does not give us a sense of just how difficult it has been, but certainly we all know that it is a very special moment. And so congratulations, Mr. Nylon. Congratulations to our chair. That happened in your tenure, you lucky man. And look forward to moving forward and having lots of success and economic activity thereof. So congrats, and make a motion to approve.
You have a motion.
I'm happy to second the motion. I do want to thank our staff for their hard work. You really can't express enough how hard everybody worked on this, and the negotiations, I know, were long and they were frustrating for a lot of people, folks in the development community, certainly frustrating for both sides, but really this was about government officials that were doing their best to advocate for their constituents, for their jurisdiction, and to make sure that a fair deal was struck on both sides. And now we can move forward, and I just want to once again thank everybody who made this possible today. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today, guys. I think that takes us to the end of our agenda. I need a motion to adjourn to Monday, what is that, November 9th, at 9 a.m. for a special meeting. Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.